So, this is a bit of a new video.
Circuit bending. Circuit bending is the creative, chance-based customization for circuits within electronic devices such as low-voltage, battery-powered guitar effects, children's toys, and digital synthesizers to create new musical or visual instruments and sound generators.
So, that's exactly what we're doing today, with this box here. Let's cut open our package. It's so unnecessarily well packaged. It's like opening a birthday present from like someone that hates you. We finally got in, which is nice, but there is more packaging to go. I finally got all the tape. So we have Stuart. He's not really one of the main minions, is he? He exists, but that's kind of it. He's in the Minion universe. Yeah, sure. Okay, and the next one? Anyway, let's pretend like that didn't happen, because today, we're circuit bending the two of them. It is time to, circuit bend them. Oh god. Oh, by the way, I do know that this man's name is not Kevin. This guy's Dave. But, lore-wise, you know, canon-wise, his name is Kevin. Okay. Dave is no longer together. Poor guy. So what I'm doing, I didn't realize this at the time. I mean, I got the idea from looking on the computer, but I saw his video a few years ago when it was like first released, or first uploaded. And so I was like, oh, this will be a fun little thing to do, would it not? I was going to turn one into a microphone, and I rewatched this video yesterday. Turns out, he did the same thing. So this is not in the slightest original. So I'm thinking of turning this one into it and doing a very similar thing to on the computer and putting a jack here through his eye. I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. I've also got to find a way of jumping this, I guess, because I don't think I have any hot glue to push it down in permanently. That's where the camera dies. Ignore the sun in the background, I can't help that, that's just a fan going, it's really hot. The battery runs out, I put a new one in, and I start recording, and one thing I hate about my camera is if I go anywhere near the recording limit, it just corrupts the video itself. There was about 4 hours of footage, but I lost it all. So, I'm gonna go through everything that happened. So I started off by, you know, taking this guy apart. You know, ripping out his insides. No, that's not really what happened. So, I took out the speaker, and I drilled a hole through him. I realized that this button here, the push to talk button, has to somehow be jumped so that I don't have to constantly push it whilst I play the guitar. And that didn't work. No matter what I would try, I could not get it to work until I had the idea of putting just something in between to maybe split it up. If I used this one, held down the button, and started it, that wouldn't work. It wouldn't work until I let go and pushed it in again. So I came to the conclusion that you can't just hold the button as it starts, otherwise it won't work. And I don't have any switches, I only have momentary switches, which means when I push it down, it'll flick back up as soon as I let go. So I put a potentiometer on the back, which is like a little dial. It's like an external variable resistor. The one that I'm using, I think, goes up to 50, no, it goes up to 100k. When you start it, you flick it up, and then you turn it up, and then it would send power to the actual thing itself, to the button, as if I'm jumping it. And that's how I got across jumping the two things together to make it actually constantly on. With that out of the way, I then needed to get the jack in, which was pretty simple. You know, I would just cut off the microphone, and I'd put the two wires from the microphone onto the jack. All I had to do was find a way of putting the potentiometer in this guy. So first of all, I tried putting it in the side. Now, as you can tell, that's a pretty dumb idea, because oh, what about the batteries? I don't know, I didn't think about that. So then in the end I had to put it on the back. One issue with putting it on the back is that because of the board itself being right here where the head is, around the bottom and on the left hand side, or the right hand side technically, for us, for him it says left, what you'll notice is there is a pretty big crack, just open, because it would not close properly. Another thing that kept happening is when I was putting it together, things would just fall off. It started with one of the jack wires falling off, which was not that hard, it just came loose on the actual jack itself, so I just resoldered it. But then, it got so much worse. Oh, it got so much worse. The battery wire came loose on the actual battery pack itself. Both of the wires for the jack on the board came off. The negative battery wire came off of the board, and that took so long to get back on, because I would need 3 hands. One to hold the board, one to hold the wire, and one to hold the soldering iron. Everything just kept going wrong. It was fun. It was definitely fun. It just took me like 4.5 hours and I lost all of the footage. It's done, kind of. Basically, it's only kind of done because I do want to do one more thing. It's to Dave, not Kevin. I know I called him Kevin. I meant Dave. Basically, I want to have an aux output on him. So to turn him on correctly, when we get to Dave, we switch him on like so. Just switch the switch as you usually would. So then when it comes to Stuart, what we have to do is a little bit different. We first flick on the switch, like that. You don't hear anything. But then you've got to turn this dial on the back all the way up. Next, you grab your trusty guitar wire, and you plug it into his eye. Grab your guitar, you plug it in there. I'm in a little bit behind the studio right now, so that you know this is real, where we banished the drummer for the Lonely Cow. You know what else we can recreate with this? Now that we know that that works, what I want to do next is try it with some effects. I have a ton of pedals down here that we're going to try it on now. I've been trying to get it to work with pedals for a little while now. It does not work. It does not work with pedals. So I hope you enjoyed this weird video. There's definitely going to be more like this and... You're actually alive.
Boy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave.
No.
I won't ever let it happen again, I promise. I promise, Dave.